It is a packed house. May not seem like it on the far side, but behind us, not an open seat. And boys, this place could be loud and rocking all night long.
Terps have the first serve. It is Sydney Dowler. As Tyler mentioned, the program's first ever Big Ten setter of the week through the entire conference. And boy, we have some good setters in this conference. It's the Wildcats, it's the Terps, and it's live from the Xfinity Center Pavilion in College Park, Maryland. First serve time, 8:01 p.m., and first point time, 8:01 p.m. here on the East Coast. And once again, we thank you very much for tuning in wherever it may be from. Let's take a look at our first point. Nice swing on the near side. As libero Megan Miller puts the first serve into play. Down goes Anastasia Russ. Back to serve Lexi Finnerty. To the back row, far side swing. Dug out by Milan Gomillion. Far side Sam Sire. Quite a few familiar names in this team. And Anastasia Russ says, no, that didn't touch the antenna. They hit below 100 yesterday against Penn State in a 4-set loss. Serve gave the Northwestern backline some trouble. Dowler up, and Sam Sire down. How many times have we seen that connection over the last 2-3 years?
He's not going to miss that opportunity.
Finnerty deep to the back line. Up and down, dug out by Dowler once again. Sire far side, Angels touch, and it fools the back line. As Sienna Nordmeer.
She shows that just a touch is all that's needed for Maryland to get the point.
Thus far, it's been clean through the first 5 points for the Terps. And there we see what Layla Ricks can bring. And after point number 1 going the Wildcats' way, it's been 5 straight for the Terps. Nordmeyer up, and despite a ferocious spike from Hannah Lesiak, it's gone out. Side out Maryland once more. Into 7 points. She has started off hot, as she normally does. Terps were out of the timeout very early. They know that everything that they've got is working. So they just have to continue it. There was a timeout from Northwestern after 6 unanswered points. And that's a little bit more like what Shane Davis wants to see, as Hannah Lesiak on the solo block. It was Lesiak who began the season with a career-high 22 kills against Northern Colorado on August 27th. Back deep was Ellie Stinson. Down goes Anastasia Russ. We've said her name quite a bit so far.
She can do it on offense and defense. Terps up by 5.
Big number 88, she goes to the bench. Seemed to be a joust opportunity for Ricks, but she loses out. Big number 88, but she wanted a little bit more playing time, so she's come to College Park to find it. And boy, has she played into some huge dividends thus far. Nice little point going between the Terps and the Wildcats. It's Ricks on the near side. Dug out by Stinson. Temi Thomas-Ilara, what a dig from Milan Gomillion. Deflected up and down. Huge point. Sam Sire finishes off. Just don't think Milan Gomillion can get enough praise. You see Thomas-Ilara, her power on display right there. And you look at Gomillion and say, how do her forearms manage that? How does she even react fast enough to dig that out? The BYU transfer, Leilani Dodson, gets us back into play. Sam Sire, heat. Number 44 on the outside. It's been really clean so far for the Terps. They have earned all 9 points. Thomas-Ilara far side, once again, great dig, Gomillion. Back row from Sire, deflected. Free ball attempt for Northwestern. Up and down to Thomas-Ilara. No digging that one out from Gomillion.
Clinging to that 4-point lead, but you got to feel like Northwestern could go on a run at any time.
Dowler up, Layla Ivy. After a deflection, Megan Miller takes control, and Thomas-Ilara sends it long of the attack, as well as the dominance on defense so far, limiting Thomas-Ilara. She has had her chances, and she has gotten a little bit involved, but limited so far. Free ball attempt after Ivy struggled to get it over. Nordmeyer up, and Desiree Becker down. And it doesn't really matter if you're 6'5", 5'2", or 10 foot tall. If you can get the solo blocks in, you're gonna be in a fortunate position if you're an outside hitter. There's Ivy into the forearms of Miller. And a nice cross-court finish by Lesiak.
Yeah, she saw some open space here on the near side, took advantage. A really, really smart play.
Caught Dowler completely off guard. Charlotte Chronister gets us back underway. Dowler up, Russ down yet again. Kill number 3 for Anastasia Russ.
Maryland is also doing a good job of keeping Northwestern still that arm's reach away.
Dug out was the spike from Chronister, loading up and sending just long is Layla Ivy of 7th place. Could happen tonight depending on how much action she sees, but if not tonight, then most certainly in their next game. Layla Ivy blocked out hard, but it does fall outside the touchline. Lexi Finnerty passed 50 career assists and 250 digs in Maryland's first ever road win against a top 10 opponent at Purdue. Dowler can't dig out, and Northwestern are within 3. As they go 3, it's Layla Ricks. We see that touch from her all the time, and she mixes up the power and the finesse.
Yeah, 9 sets, they won them all. Did it easy as pie. Rutgers, Northwestern, and then number 9, Purdue.
Tricky serve to deal with for Northwestern. She's back to serve again as the sophomore. Sienna Nordmeyer up, and a nice cross-court finish by Dodson yet again. Hannah Lesiak deep. Dowler up, and the cross-court attempt by Ricks goes back. Lesiak once more into the net. The Nebraska game was one where if you're Adam Hughes, you look at that and say, guys, we gotta work at serving. At least just get that ball in there and give it a chance. Multiple first set service errors. Thomasai Lara, she gets it back on the give and go. Free ball attempt here starts by Finnerty. Outside Sire. Ooh, crash into the scorer's table. They have to keep continuing on, and Raynell Jones eventually finishes. Layla Ricks will get us started again from the Xfinity Center Pavilion. 16-11 the Terps lead over Northwestern. Michael Kersing, Tyler Lochte, once again, wherever you may be joining us from, we thank you for spending part of your Saturday night here with us at the Xfinity Center Pavilion. As Layla Ricks is service ace for her yet again. Ricks has a nice, slow, composed roll with her serve. Thomasai Lara cues up on the near side. Instead, it's Leilani Dotson on the far. And it hit off of the net. I thought that was a dead point. The ceilings are in play, though, here at the Pav. Far side, Thomasai Lara makes sure to get it done this time. This was an interesting little touch. It seemed as if Northwestern was celebrating. We talk about Thomasai Lara as the joust finished down and hard by Desiree Becker once more. We get hitting percentage. So we were talking about the tail of the tape in the beginning of the show, and we mentioned it was the defense of the Terps against the strong attack. What a dig from Gomillion. Dowler up and Jones down. We'll get back to the point once this point is over, and it eventually falls Thomasai Lara getting the credit. As there is number 44 on the dig. She gets it back on the give and go, and she gives the Terps a bit more of a short lead. Tyler Lochte
makes a run, or at least starts one. Maryland seems to put a stop to it.
Thomasai Lara, I mean, you see her vertical, and I mean, with about how much more power can she bring it down? It's a very interesting battle. As we've mentioned, the defense of the Terps. Sire really brings some heat, but we know how good Thomasai Lara can be. It's a free ball attempt from number 12, Maddie Nauman. And the soft touch came from Jones after Dowler set up. Dowler sends it down once more. Thomasai Lara far side to repelled again. How about one more try? This time, she completes the point to bring the Wildcats within 2. Directing it towards that back corner. And a complete mishap from Maddie Nauman.
Yeah, boys, that a big ace, and now they're just one away from tying it.
Sienna Nordmeyer puts it back in. Layla Ivy cocks back and drives it into the ground. Back to 2 points go the Terps.
Not going to make a mistake there.
Erin Engel, the serve specialist, gets us back into play. Dowler with one block, and she tries another solo on her own, but repelled only down into the net.
And again, Northwestern with a chance to tie it up.
Seems like the momentum is in the Terps' favor, of course with the home court, but at the same time, they've been getting the better of the points. Nice dig from Megan Miller, wearing the white, signifying she's the libero. Hard down from Ransdorf, again reflected away. Dug up by Miller. Sent back at Randorf's way. She'll get one more swing. And it's gone Maryland's way, question mark. Looked like both teams were celebrating. And it looked like Adam Hughes had one of the best views of anybody, as did the linesman on the far side. And they are going to rule it a deflection off of Dowler.
So now, not only does Northwestern get that point, which ties it, and here is that net camera view.
Oh boy.
Boy, is it quick, but either 8 or 88, one of them got a touch.
So yeah, beg your pardon that it was a Northwestern challenge as the point was initially given to Maryland. And now, Northwestern all of a sudden has the lead. And gives Northwestern their first lead since 1-0 in this first set. Joust attempt from Sydney Dowler. That's a big point from the Maryland setter. But after a second timeout from Shane Davis, it's been nearly all Northwestern.
Every now and then, though, can't get them all.
Far side, Ivy needed the control. Sienna Nordmeer up. And Randorf down. This Northwestern attack has found ways to isolate big number 88 in the middle, and that has reaped plenty of benefits so far as Northwestern has its largest lead of the day at 2 points. It was a nice, delicate touch, and she gives a wry smile. And she gives the, yup, that was me. Finnerty back into play. Randorf far side, took a deflection, no question about that one. Down by Sire with enough for Miller to dig out. Finnerty up. Dowler sets for Russ. Still up, and it's not quite going to get over as Russ uses the net to her advantage.
Waste says it goes out of play.
They go within 1, not 3. As Dowler hit the ground to try and keep that up. But she couldn't for too much longer on this side, and Northwestern have reaped the benefits. Dowler up and Raynell Jones down. Can Randorf get there? Yes. And free ball attempt over from Ellie Stinson. Chance for the Terps. Dowler and Sire into the ground. Finishes hard to keep this set alive. But
now remember, Michael, you got to win by 2, so if Maryland scores here, it's going to be a race to 26.
It's Ricks in. Dodson and Thomas Ilara, and it's given to Northwestern, I believe. Yes, it was. And that is set number 1. Thought it went out, but no challenges seeming to be coming from Adam Hughes' Terps. That's a big first set win to claw back from Northwestern. Gotta watch my mouth now. But it seemed as if the momentum was Maryland's way. It was a good save from Sienna Nordmeer. It had hit the deck though, but it saw the errors coming in. Up by Nordmeer, and a bit of heat taken off of it. Catherine Randorf gets Northwestern on the board here in set number 2.
And again, it's all about placement on some of these kill attempts, Michael. Just as you saw right there, Gomillion can dig out pretty much anything, but she hit it just out of reach, the star libero.
From one libero to another, it's Megan Miller, the serve. Russ had to reach. Up and down. Sire could only palm it up backwards. They had a 1-0 lead to start off, then Maryland reeled off 6-7 consecutive. Didn't give up the lead until the challenge reversed a call. It tied the game, and then after that, it was nearly all Northwestern. Lexi Finnerty serve dug out. Randorf straight to Gomillion. Dowler up, Sire the finesse, and and straight down by Anastasia Rust.
Directed the ball right down. She made that look so easy.
Sire tries to do her best Russ impression. And the joust won not by Layla Ricks. And no, it does go to Maryland in the end. No challenge of rebuttal from Adam Hughes. Service ace gives Northwestern the lead again.
Kind of similar to that challenge back in the first, Michael. Northwestern's done a really good job of taking their chances after a big-time call.
They get a 2-point lead now. We're talking about how Thomas Ilara was limited pretty heavily in Evanston. So was Stinson. She only had 6 digs last time out about a week and a half ago. Dowler up. Sire using the net, dug out by Miller. Nordmeyer up and had Olesiak down. Six dings last time. Well, to give it a little bit of perspective to you, she has 5 already tonight. And perhaps a lift from the Maryland player gives Northwestern a 4-point lead. Out. She gets us started once more. Nice dig out by Stinson herself. She sends it long. Lexi Finnerty opts to keep it in play, look to be close, and Sam Sire deep into the backcourt. Gets Maryland back on track and ends that 5-0 scoring run of Northwestern. Nice awareness as well by Sire of taking advantage of Thomas Ilara's position. Nice dig from Finnerty and a nice block from Jones. We've seen her do that in all of her 4 years and change here. She's in her 5th.
Yeah, you can't have those miscommunications on the back line. Just talk it out. I know it's loud in here, but you can't have those teammate mistakes.
It's a nice touch of finesse from Sire, and after the sets, Thomas Ilara sends it long. Point actually was given Northwestern's way. Might have taken a deflection on the way over. Lesiak sends it skyward. Stinson and Dotson with nice placement. They didn't think that Dotson was going to be the one to get it.
Wow.
Hannah Lesiak gets us restarted. We had to go to break quick. It was a quick timeout called by Adam Hughes. Team down, but of course never out with this strong defense of theirs. Gomillion sets far side for Layla Ricks. It's been the Northwestern defense that's been pretty strong thus far this second set. Sam Sire has been limited in her attempts. Looks like that one hit the antenna on the net. You see Ricks, nice, slow, and composed. Mentioned that in the first set. Nordmeyer up and Thomas Ilara using the net to her advantage. No way anybody's going to be blocking the heat on that.
Went in the path of 2 Maryland terrapins, but it was hit with enough pace that neither one could really get anything on it.
Dowler pretty unsure. Serve was probably knuckling, and she couldn't find Dowler.
Make a play.
Sire more sure on this bump. She gets it back from Dowler. Back row spike coming deep from Lesiak, repelled and sent down into the ground. Sire. Leilani Dotson once again. They've been trying to get Sam Sire into this match, and I mean, that's 2 in a row. And if you're Adam Hughes, you gotta start thinking about maybe getting Layla Ivy back into this game, maybe going to the bench, seeing Jem Grimshaw, maybe just making a few adjustments, or you could just let Sydney Dowler do it herself.
A little piece of open court and get Maryland back in.
Free ball attempt coming, chance for the Terps, and Dowler does it again. She disguises it so well, Dowler. Thomas Ilara repelled by Jones and Dowler. Nice soft touch. They'll get the chance, back row from Sire. Solo block from Desiree Becker once again.
Just great positioning there by Becker to make a great play.
Sienna Nordmeyer gets us back into play, and they say that that ball touched the line. There are 2 challenges. Potential joust attempt, and again, Desiree Becker, at least she looked, couldn't quite catch the violation. Erin Engel back into serve. taking up a Lexi Finnerty type role from last year. She's mainly in there to serve. She gets one towards her and gives it a really nice dig. Does number 12. How about one more from the sophomore? Back row spike. Came from Sire, and Layla Ivy finishes off. And as Maryland went back into their bench for the timeout, Erin Engel got a huge reception, hugs all around from her teammates.
Michael, a big-time ace, and Maryland is on a 4-0 run.
Northmere up, repelled. Dowler calling for something, and dig out. It was towards Engel this time. Right up on it was on her. It was on the far side. It was right in front of her, number 8. As she goes to get it off her perch. And Layla Ivy places it nicely, and the Terps hope to say ball don't lie.
To this Maryland team.
It's Dowler's serve, knuckles down. Up by Lesiak, and long. Well, nope, it took a deflection. Megan Miller back to serve. And Layla Ivy sent back hard. Reached the semifinals under John Cook and his historic program out in Lincoln. Dowler up. Russ was reaching. Far near side, at least, to Ivy. The transfer had 30 digs against Ohio State.
That's insane.
And sent back hard, and now Northwestern being given a taste of their own medicine as Russ and Ricks combine.
That run, and they really want to keep this going here.
Talked about it during the Nebraska game and how important it is to be keeping your best servers on the ball. They're not going to do it here. Finnerty, one of their best servers. She was in a nearly strictly servers only role last year. So we're going to take another look again. It seemed to be a bit of confusion, but you want it in her hands, maybe Erin Engel's hands. And now, you also want it in Milan Gomillian's hands.
For Maryland here, it is critical that Gomillian gets the ball above the net, but she hits it out there. Give Northwestern a point before they even have a chance to return it.
Sire near side. We have not seen Sam Sire too much. The fire has been extinguished this set. She had 7 in the first set. This only her 3rd of the second set.
They're going to need her to come alive here if they can get back into it.
Thomas Ilara with power, but a nice deflection up. Sire with the chance. She's angled it, and she knew exactly what was coming off the block. They've been successful with Ricks. The Ricks' serves do give Northwestern a chance to do something with it. Gomillian dug out the serve. Up by Miller, and stuffed away is Thomas Ilara by Jones and Dowler. Layla Ricks is back to serve, carrying a 3-0 scoring deficit to bring the Terps back within 2 here in set number 2. Bit of a miscue from Stinson, but Northmere is there. Free ball attempt. Here come the Terps. Dowler up. Jones deflected away. Thomas Ilara gives another shot. She gets a deflection off of her spike, and that's a big point for Northwestern.
Her attack, Sire, down to just 24% with the same amount of kills.
Avery Hernandez into the game. She's the one who serves, and that would have been and that hit there from Hernandez is number 4, pinballed around a little bit. Sire is back. She will play the back row. They've brought in Layla Ivy up front on the near side. The 3 try and combine. Sure did take a deflection.
Northwestern, and specifically Ilara, has done so well of getting the ball past that Maryland front line.
Northmere's serve was a joust attempt, and Dowler came off her far side perch to try and win it. Freshman out of Los Angeles serves up. 2 away from set number 2 are the Wildcats. Layla Ivy wants something to say about it. Northmere up. Near side, sent back, block party again. Here at College Park gets Raynell Jones once more. Erin Engel, she was the impact player earlier in this set. Took a slight deflection, up for Ivy, and dug out by Lesiak. Far side, Randorf sent back. Erin Engel type roll, she's their main server. They at least want to have her on the ball. It was a dipping serve, you could see why. Layla Ivy tries with authority, but sends it long, and Northwestern takes set number 2. Another set seemingly of defensive errors to come back to haunt the Terps. They are very efficient in set number 3. They have won the majority of them. Third time is a charm for these Terrapins.
Yeah, this is a Maryland team. They just do not get swept. And after sweeping 3 teams last week, they still won one last time in a tough game against Penn State.
Before that swing attempt went down successful, the Wildcats were hitting 297 on the night. They were hitting 305 before this one.
Maryland's lone sweep of the year was at the hands of Illinois.
Looked like that might have been a foot violation on Sydney Dowler. And Northwestern are up, quickly off to a quick 3-0 start to set number 3. Nebraska transfer Megan Miller looks to make it 4, but one of the few service errors of today's game thus far. Up by Nordemir. Heat taken off, giving Gomillion time to dig. Sam Sire sent back once more. Her height, as does Anastasia Russ. Dowler to set, far side, Sire. That's more like it from the junior from Strongsville, Ohio.
Even if it is blocked, there's a chance that goes right out of play, as it did.
It was a nice idea. That's going to be hit number 4. Didn't take a touch from going immediately down. It's what you like to see if you're Adam Hughes. Also keeping the ball in Milan Gomillion's hands. Far side, rejected by Jones and Sire.
Who got that touch, just tough from our angle. Jones is another player who just keeps on making plays, and she is someone that Maryland really needs here down the stretch.
Of insight to how good Raynell Jones is, if you look at blocks, she's nearly the active leader in everything. And solo blocks and block assists, not just for the conference, but the entire nation. Dug up and out by Finnerty. Sire had a tough angle with the antenna in front. She's gonna get another swing attempt here. Dug up and out by Lesiak. Joust attempt won by Raynell Jones on Thomas Ilara.
The country, it is arguably the best conference in the nation for volleyball.
It was a good serve from Ellie Watson. She gets a big cheer from the bench with her first touch. 2 players go down. It won't affect play, but Raynell Jones get her back involved, and she's gonna be feeling the heat.
Insane. I mean, no one can do it better up there by the net than her.
Thomas Ilara, did it get a touch? It did.
Now, it does raise morale, and clearly they are good when they play, so I like it.
The Sire fire back once more.
But see, it can also go the other way, because if you're Maryland and you're seeing that level of taunting, it only makes you hit the ball that much harder.
No, you're not a psychology major, are you?
Oh, God, no. What a really entertaining match here at the Plex.
Jones sent back. Gomillion, Dowler, and Ivy looked like she got the net and the antenna, so those are 2 things that you can't do. They've decided to take a little bit of height out as Allie Williams gets her first action. And sent back hard was Layla Ivy, but it did not land within bounds. Bit of youth on the court with Engel, Ivy, and Williams, sophomore, freshman, respectively. Nice dig from Sire. Back row attack, it's just gone out. It's Chronister to serve. It's a really nice set, high degree of difficulty from Dowler to find Ivy. She sent it in between the 2 blockers, dug out by Gomillion. Spike sent back, but huge chunk of the net taken out by Russ, and Ivy gives Northwestern the point. That's
a blessing and a curse on that front row.
Once more from Chronister. And into the net. as another attack error comes from Anastasia Russ.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for Russ to be in there. As you're turning and trying to hit it, you can kind of lose track of just where you are. As you can see here, she turns, tries to hit it the other way, and just could not get anything behind it.
Keeping the ball in Chronister's hands. Up by Dowler, ferociously down by Ivy.
Make that challenge, especially now that you've lost it. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. What would we be saying if they won the point? But Maryland is out.
Anastasia Russ got deflected, and it's a Maryland point. But when you're down and trying to claw back into a match like this, that's one that you could probably say is worth taking. As we're back underway, the Terps maybe knocked a little off their mojo. It was a nice dig from Dowler to keep play restarted. Potential free ball, but it was a nice placement and a bit of a mishap at the back from Charlotte Chronister, the Chicago native.
Maryland needs this third set, so they need to stay close.
Ellie Watson went up, and they got a deflection off of her, maybe off of Russ. Far side, Layla Ivy giving it the heat. Bit of a Swiss cheese defense reference from Tyler
One
Lochte.
could say.
One could say. Up by Nordemeyer and down by Lesiak, but just out of bounds.
This place is getting a little bit nervous. It's really coming down to the wire.
Nordemeyer once more, and a touch off of Dowler on the attack from Hannah Lesiak again.
And again, as we've been saying all night, you really need to avoid the errors, but this is a chance for Northwestern to kind of build their lead.
It got Gomillion into a bit of an awkward position. Sire's swing gets a little heat taken off of it. What a dig from Gomillion. Closed fist pops it up. Here's Ellie Watson. Cross court. Nice dig from Dowler off of Nordemier's. And it dumps in front, and Sam Sire puts her hands on her head like, how did that happen? Dunking right down in front of Nordemier.
Outs that she would take all day, and she couldn't even believe her luck there.
Leilani Dodson sends it long, and we've got a tie game.
Challenge this. It's Northwestern this time, as it can only be them at this point, Michael, as they are the only team with challenges left. Wow, they're going to say it did touch Maryland.
Yeah, and these teams who, as we mentioned in the pregame, that they aren't necessarily at the top of the conference, but their out-of-conference record speaks pretty strongly. Thomas Ilara, we haven't seen her too much this set. But boy, I mean, the Northwestern bench, I mean, a few of them hit the floor.
Ilara there, oh my. There is no stopping that when she has time to really wind up.
Sire says, I can do it too, but Ilara's blocking teammates take a little heat off it. Gomillion up, Sire down, quick hands. Thomas Ilara gets another chance again, and she uses a little bit of luck this time.
That is karma. Sire had a lucky bounce, and Ilara, who has been neck and neck with Sire all game long, gets a lucky bounce of her own. And as there is a timeout here, we have a 4-point game here on Big Ten Plus. The vibes that this Northwestern bench has brought into the PAV is so infectious.
Sam Sire, far side, can't get herself back involved, as we've seen it after the first set, the lively first set from the junior, that her hitting percentage has decreased all the way down to near 220, and we've seen the errors come through on the attack for the Terps. That's really been their Achilles heel. Not only that, we see Temi Thomas Ilara as well, as we see her right there. Has it been ruled in? It has. And we've been seeing Thomas Ilara find the holes. Tyler alluding to the Swiss cheese defense once or twice. And that's going to force another timeout. Wildcats are 5-6 points away from doing the same thing to the Terps, handing it straight back to them. Well, service errors like that aren't the recipe for it.
No, that's not going to help.
Terps get the ball back into their court. Back into play by Ellie Watson. up by Miller. Yeah, you give Thomas Ilara that kind of time to get up to that ball, that kind of height, she's gonna send it down 10 times harder. That's exactly what big number 12 does. It's been all Northwestern in this third set. They're 5 points from sweeping the Terps off the pad floor. Allie Williams dig out. And that'll be in there by Raynell Jones to get the Terps within 5. They know that they have to get every ball back that they can, so they sacrifice some height and put in Gomillion and Williams.
Oh no, look out to our WMUC Sports brethren there. That ball came flying in and knocked out one of their computers.
No screening unlike at MLB games, so we are susceptible. We train our reflexes just as these players do. Layla Ivy sent back hard on the far side, but it is going to be a Maryland point. And they're within 5.
And again, the Terps, they've only been swept one time this year against Illinois. They took even number 3 Nebraska to 4.
Up by Lesiak and into the net by Randorf. She has been active thus far. Sienna Nordemir on the assisting once again, that being her 33rd of the night. Besting Sydney Dowler's 29, taking a look.
Yeah, it's so tough to come into this building as loud as it is and escape with a sweep. This place has been so loud, I'm just doing color and my voice is already toast. I'm not sure how you're doing it.
Doing all right, you gotta watch your voice these last few days before the games. I make sure to. Football games make it tough. It was a great win for the Terps today in college football, clinching a bowl game before their tough run of games consisting of Ohio State and Penn State.
Yeah, it's homecoming. It's great to see so many faces back on this campus.
Well, not too many will be too happy with the result they see now.
Big impact player for this Maryland team.
Nice dive bomb type serve from Dowler. It has to be free ball over by Lesiak. Attempt in the middle from Russ. It's been a wonderful job by the Northwestern defense of limiting her. And after Randorf sends that into the ground, it's set and match point for the Wildcats.
And again, the Wildcats are really trying to close this out right here. They do not want this to have any chance of going 4.
Miller for match point. Up by Dowler and down by Russ. She's been limited since her action in the first set. Down to get it is Sire. Up off the net by Dowler. Sent back was Russ. Dowler and Watson, and she's placed it down just beneath the pancake of Megan Miller. It's Finnerty. It's who you want on the serve. Nordemir far side, and that'll finish it. As Lesiak's strong day and Temi Thomas Alilara each strong with 10 kills, well, at least double-digit kills. That was Randorf's 11, and Thomas Ilara falling just short of 20. Sire and Ivy led the way with 15 and 10 kills respectively for the Terps. But once again, it was the defensive errors and as well as some on the attack